Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorna's story. We're picking up where we left off. You've just had a rest in this cave that you are basically waiting out weather in. We're going to go ahead and jump ahead just a little bit until your next moment of travel. Let me go ahead and roll for you. Is there anything you'd like to do in this moment before we get moving?
No.
Okay. All right. One moment, please. I need you to roll me a D100.
Okay. 41.
41. Okay. Okay, first and foremost, let's go ahead and get you on the road. You're following the coastal road as finally, after waiting all this time, the weather finally let up and you and the crew, the Nightingales, make their way off the beach, out of the cave, and back on the road. And as you're traveling for a good little while. Let's see, 41. Okay. As you are making your way, roll me a perception check, please.
Okay. 22.
You've been traveling on the road now for a couple hours when your group is just walking along. When suddenly you notice a group of commoners, a group of people, look like just townsfolk. Uh, you spot them on the side of the road. They don't say anything to you, but a few of them step forward and they set flowers down at your feet as you're walking by.
All of our feet?
Yeah,
Insight check?
go ahead.
Are they paying, like, do they seem like they're respectfully giving them, or are they making a joke, or are they trying to rob me?
Insight check.
A natural 20. I roll so many natural 20s on insight.
Yeah.
29.
These townsfolk seem starstruck. Uh, they are excited to see your group. They're excited to see you. Um, you don't know who these people are, but they are putting flowers at your feet and almost looking at you with reverence,
Are
as
they
if
immediately backing off
yeah,
after they do this?
they're setting the flowers down and backing up, whispering to each other excitedly and seeing if any of you pick them up. Some of them are leaving after they've dropped the flowers off. Some of
Well, I
them
mean, yeah, Lorna would pick one up, but she would like look at the closest person who hasn't retreated yet, and she'd be like, what are these for?"
uh it's like a halfling man that you say this to. And he just kind of nods and he says, "For saving our good cleric."
The ones, the harpies, right?
And then another one on the side of the road was like, "Oh, of course."
It was our pleasure, you know. We would have saved anyone who needed help.
And heroes ye be. And he sets the flowers down at your feet and then backs off.
Yeah, I remember that. The guy said that we were welcome anytime at his temple because of what we did. She says to her group.
Your group is like mystified by this as well. But Anscombe looks less mystified and more mildly like amused. It seems like this isn't catching him by surprise.
You're not surprised by this?
You're really not from a small town.
No.
Adventurers and those that help people out, it's a big deal. They're your heroes, especially to little folk like this.
Lorna kind of scuffs the dirt with her shoe. A little embarrassed now.
Do you remember the name of their town? Did he say?
Shh. Yes, he did, but give me a second. Um, shit, shit. I'm going through my notes as Lorna goes through her memories. I don't think I have it.
That's a shame.
A history check for Lorna, because she's a genius and I'm not. Can I roll a history check?
No.
Oh,
As you and your party continue on past,
damn
these
it.
townsfolk are very excited about you uh having saved their cleric, and they leave you all sorts of flowers and what looks like they drop these small each one is round, like the size of a fist, but flat, and they're wrapped in like a not silk, but like a tulle, if you know what I'm talking about. It's almost like a mesh that's bound with a
Mm-hmm.
ribbon, and each one is their bright colors as they're set there.
Laura's totally picking up flowers.
Okay.
She puts one in her hair.
They're all sorts of flowers. They're seasonal and they smell very fresh. You imagine they just found wildflowers or they're from gardens that they've brought with them.
Mhm.
You you enjoy a hero's welcome as you're making your way on the road.
Yeah, I do. Oh, and then Lorna kind of like as she's kind of like there's a pep in her step. She's very pleased. Like, wow, I never thought this would happen to me in my lifetime. She does think about the fact that more notoriety means that her face will be more known to other people, and then she thinks, I don't necessarily think that's a good thing at all times.
That is a word of
And
caution.
the pep kind of simmers down a little bit.
Oh, you made yourself sad.
I did. The superpower.
Okay.
Generally speaking, though, her appearance is only really dangerous in Sarah's, right?
I I have no
Yeah, I know
comment.
you will not answer. You will not answer that.
But that is what you encounter.
Oh,
Uh,
I like that.
I'm glad. I'm gonna roll a survival for Tier. Okay. That day of travel goes by quietly. Aside from encountering some other passersby and these basically admirers who recognize that you saved their cleric and he spread the word, the travel for today goes by quietly and without
Lorna
incident.
tries to slip in like that they're called the Nightingales, just in casual conversation if she can manage it.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll say that's easy enough. You tell them that your group is called the Nightingales.
Yep.
Uh,
It's called marketing.
are you sassing me?
I'm sassing the audience, which is also just me.
Okay,
Hi, Pen.
so Tierra's rolled a survival. You that day passes by. You move on to the next. We sit down for a long rest. I'm going to roll for some encounters if they happen.
Hmm.
Is there any conversations or anything you want to have over the night?
Nah.
Okay,
She's trying to keep her drama to herself for once.
that's crazy.
I know.
Okay. I hear a fly in the soundtrack and it's upsetting. Okay. All right, roll me a perception.
Okay. 15.
Okay, and lastly, roll me a D100.
91.
91. Okay, roll me a D6.
6.
Roll again.
Okay. 6.
Roll again.
6.
Roll again.
I wish this was stats I was rolling.
Yeah.
4.
Okay.
It's like the time Sour rolled 3 natural ones in a row during the fall festival.
Okay. Over this night, I need you to make a con save.
Okay. 19.
The entire night, maybe it's seasonal, maybe it's the air, but Nore snores the entire night.
Oh, and she's never done that before.
Nope, it's brand new.
Laura's just thinking, like, is she okay? Is she getting sick?
Uh, you managed to get a full night's rest despite that, but that's what you rolled
And one of my party members snored
all night, and it was
all
very
night.
annoying.
Okay. Ugh. Everyone has dark circles under their eyes, and Lorna just looks at Nore when they wake up in the morning, like they're packing up their stuff, and she's like, maybe you should sleep on your side.
What?
I think you should try sleeping on your side.
Why?
It's good for it opens your airway. It's good for you.
Wh- Why are you bringing
Just
this up?
just trust me.
Nori like looks around at the other party members and like no one says anything, but Skolna just makes eye contact with her and nods. And Nori's like, "All right, I'll try it." Okay, roll me a d100.
16.
16. Okay. Oh, that's remarkable. Along the road down by the coast. Hang on. You come across the coast has this road that you're on. The coast has like a small road that lets out to the actual beach away from where you are. And at this crossroads, there is a small inn. And you're walking up right by it. Um, you see that there is a sign on the front of it called the Hidden Horn.
Hidden horn.
Yes. You know it's pretty common to find small inns and taverns just along the road wherever you go. However, as you approach the Hidden Horn, you see the Hidden Horn has like this deck out on the front where there's like hitching posts. Up on that deck, you see there are a few people that look like they're just clientele of the tavern. They have mugs. They're looking out over the deck at something. Um, and you can't really see what it is until you get much closer. And as you do, there's a moment of tension
Uh-huh.
as you see there are two individuals. One of them has their back to you, but you see their hand is raised. You can't see what's in it. However, opposite him, you see there is a woman who looks like she's been, well, she looks filthy, like she's been on the road for a long time. You see in the woman's left hand is a chain that leads to a person who's bound.
Oh.
In their other
Uh-huh.
hand, you see there is a pistol, and it is aimed at the one who you are coming up behind of.
Uh-huh.
You appear to have come up on a moment of tension as they're just holding arms to each other. What do you do?
Uh, are they saying anything?
No.
They're just like we didn't hear any words coming up.
It was dead quiet. No one was saying anything. Except when you make yourselves known, when you appear, the woman holding the pistol up to the target in front of her, her eyes flit to you. And she says, "Y'all stay back there.
What's happening?
Business."
What kind of business?
If you don't mind, now's not the time for questions.
I feel like now's the perfect time for questions.
Uh,
Who's in the wrong here?
roll me a charisma check.
16?
With a 16, the one who is facing the other way says, "You're looking at her."
As in, who's in the wrong here? Her.
Yeah.
She'll make eye contact with the woman again and say, and you have a person on a leash, why?
This be a bounty. And I intend to collect. Once I get to Shore Watch, I was expecting to just find some refreshment. Not my bounty's accomplice.
She'll say to the back of the man's head, is that true?
You gonna believe the word of one bounty hunter? One who's got a gun on one who might say otherwise. He's got a
I'm
gun
led to
on me
believe.
back.
Is that true? Can I tell from the way he's holding his arm that he
It
might be
looks like
holding
he's
a
holding a weapon. It's just hard to see exactly what it is.
weapon? We could talk this out. You just put the guns down.
I'll let mine down soon as he does. That ain't happening. You're gonna have to let my friend go. He's done no wrong.
Can I insight check his words? Does it sound like he's lying?
Sure.
I know I can't see his face. 15?
It's hard to tell.
Can you see the chain, like the leashed man's face?
You can't see his face. He has,
Got like a bag over his head.
yeah. And you can hear some muffled grunting. It's likely he has like a wrap over his mouth. Yeah.
She'll look at the woman again and just say, do you have a bounty, a wanted poster on you?
Certainly I do. And as she like lifts a hand, like she moves the hand with the chain in it to like reach, and the man says, "You don't move. You stay put. One gun's enough. As I can prove my purpose if I can't show my writ of warrant for a bounty. It's forged. You've been after my friend for months."
I could be the judge of that.
"And who are you? Forgive me
Uh,
as I can't turn to see for my damn self."
Lorna will, like, how far away are they?
The one who's back to you, it's just like there's like a small hill this tavern is set on. So he's like 10 feet away from you that you came up on. And the woman is like 50 feet from you.
So she will just sigh and plot over so that she is in his line of sight now.
You see this man, he's a human. He looks pretty ragged. He looks tired, like he's been traveling a lot. Doesn't have much facial hair. Looks like it was actually burned. You see it kind of grows in a little patchy. Looks like he's been through some shit. But his eyes flit to you and he says, "Huh. A contractor.
That's right.
You're here on a job?"
On our way back from one. I know a thing or two about jobs, though.
How convenient. You mind if our mercenary here takes a look at your writ? And no sudden moves. And the woman is holding the gun up. I need you to roll a charisma. Just a charisma check.
19.
She is hesitant, but she says, "All right. Left inner pocket of my coat. Now you stay clear of my line of fire. He makes a move, I'm pulling the trigger.
Lorna just says that won't be a problem, and she just makes a mage hand cover the distance,
Okay. Huh.
reaches into the pocket and brings it back.
You find a parchment.
Mm-hmm.
It is a bounty.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to roll me an investigation check.
Can she kind of, with one finger, gesture Skolna to come over and look at it too? Because I feel like she probably knows a thing or two about bounties.
Sure, she's immediately next to you.
Yeah, of course she is. So you said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can roll with advantage if Skullness helping you.
I rolled a natural 19.
Okay.
Should I roll it again
If you have
for the
advantage, yeah.
advantage? Ah, not as good. So, 27.
As you're looking at it, it looks like a bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least it looks like it was written by somebody who knows what a bounty should look like. However, you were just in Shorewatch.
Mm-hmm.
The insignia of the stamp for the Shorewatch Sheriff's Office. That does not look like what you just saw where you came from.
I see. So she'll just say, well, I think I know what I'm dealing with now. And she's going to cast blindness on the woman.
Okay, hold on. Let me see here. You cast blindness on the woman. That is a wisdom save.
Con save 17.
Con save. She rolled a natural 6 for an 8. She suddenly goes blind. She's going to make an attack at disadvantage in reaction.
Uh-huh.
She fires the weapon at the target she was just aiming at. It is close, but it misses just barely.
Mm-hmm.
The man fires back.
Oh, Jesus.
You
Is it
have
gonna...
sparked a gunfight.
Uh-huh, does it hit?
Yes.
Silvery barbs.
It still hits.
Damn. All right.
He had advantage because she's blind.
Uh-huh.
So, here's what happens.
Son of a bitch.
As the man shoots, Skolna, like, recoils, knife in hand almost immediately, and is raising it to stab the man who just fired. The woman takes the shot in the shoulder, and something weird happens.
Oh,
Roll me an Arcana check.
okay. 17.
Yeah. You notice this creature dropped concentration on what it was doing. And the strange bluish form of a doppelganger reveals itself.
Oh, shit.
As that happens, the man next
I'm
to you
just like
says,
glad he hit.
I knew this was fucked up, and he begins to open fire in earnest.
Have at it. Now that I know it's not just a person.
Do any of your team join, or are you letting this sort itself out?
Lorna would try to get the guy who's apprehended by this doppelganger away from the doppelganger.
Okay.
Or that's by her, like, if Skolnick could get in there and cut his leash, rip off his
it's chain.
mask. It's a chain. Okay.
So it's going to have to be removed from the possession of this doppelganger. Tyr will take a shot at the doppelganger because he's aware of what a doppelganger is.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits. He'll take a second shot. Sure, why not? Might as well roll both. Both hit. It's a blind doppelganger. Its AC's not very good, and those are at advantage. Okay. As soon as the doppelganger is revealed to be a doppelganger, another pistol shot and 2 arrows just into its throat, and the doppelganger slumps down onto its knees and then face down on the ground. It is slain.
Lorna lets go of the blindness. Oh, okay. That's not what I thought was going to happen.
The man who is holding the pistol and was aiming at the body, he's just What the hell is that?
Shapeshifter. You should help your friend.
Yeah, yeah. And he runs forward. And as he does get to the individual who was bound up, he like yanks the hood off, and you see the woman the doppelganger was dressed up as.
Oh shit. Oh, but why didn't you open with that? You could have said she's pretending to be. I don't know.
It was a little tense.
It was.
Marcy, all
I
right? And
applaud
you
your
just
aim.
she like is struggling as he's like removing the bindings and cuts off the gag and stuff like that. While that's happening, a gnome up on the deck is looking out over what just happened, and the gnome says, "Well done. Y'all are welcome to stay the night. We got room."
What time of day is it?
Early evening.
She looks at her companions like, we need to forego a couple hours to have a bed.
There's some murmuring of agreement. So,
We'll be happy to take up your offer.
the gnome smiles and she says, "Excellent. It's good to have some real heroes on our hands." And
Well,
you see the original man and the one proclaimed as Marcy are recovering from that instance. As that's happening, uh, you notice the body of the doppelganger is beginning to dissolve.
oh shit. She's gonna like dive for it to see if she can get anything off of it.
Roll investigation.
Pretty good at that. Yeah, 24. Anything in the goo?
You find a pistol.
Ooh.
You find a sheaf of bullets for it. You find about approximately 75 gold pieces. You find a
Okay.
forgery kit.
Yeah, that tracks.
Um, you find lots of small little, what look like knickknacks or trinkets. And as you find them, Marcy says, "Those are mine."
Oh, all yours. Won't add those to
She's
my
like,
inventory.
yeah, she's like rubbing at her wrists and ankles where she was manacled. And that's it.
Well, all right then. This isn't your money, is it?
Roll an insight check.
21.
She seems mystified at first at the question, and then you catch her like thinking about it, as if she's considering lying to you. But eventually, she just says, "No, it's not mine."
Well, she'll kind of weigh it in her hand and she'll say, "Oh, that's weird. The pouch says your name on it. So you might as well take back what's yours."
Thank you,
Of
stranger.
course.
And
I
she,
hope things turn up for you.
"It's got to be better than it has been last night." Uh, and you are offered the hospitality of the Hidden Horn.
Nice.
Okay. You see, okay, so as you spend time at this tavern, it's clear that it's been here for a long time. And while it is a modest little inn, it's not as nice as the Shipstool or the Merry Guard. It is a roadside inn, so it's basically like it has what it can get from traveling merchants and traders. Uh, so the offerings here are actually really random. Um, Lots of cheese, which
Oh, I love cheese.
I figured you'd be okay with that. Um, but you don't really gain a whole lot of temp HP by staying here.
That's fine.
You get like 2 from eating and resting here. But we can move on to the next day of travel as you have dealt with
Sure.
a
They have a nice
doppelganger.
evening. They talk, they drink, they eat,
Yeah,
they share stories. Lorna drops a few more nightingales.
noted. You pass on the name, the Nightingales.
I can't wait for notoriety to bite me in the ass. So far, it's only done wonders. I got flowers.
That was before. Okay. Do you bother taking a watch at the tavern, or do you trust the inn
Nah,
to
I
do its
think
job?
we're okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. You move
Hooray!
on to the next day of travel.
How many days is that? 4? 3?
That was 3.
Okay.
You're
This is the
on to your
4th day.
4th. Okay. Let me go ahead and... Hey, why isn't the music working?
I hear it.
I don't hear anything. Which is kind of a problem because my audio is what's going to be on the recording. Uh,
Ah,
Hold on. One moment here. Let's just go ahead and... Sure. Okay. That'll work. As you continue on, I need you to roll me another D100, please.
okay. $60.
Nice.
I had a sound set up for that. It's the first time it got triggered.
Oh my gosh.
Ta-da!
You're such a
69.
you're such a dork.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The next encounter doesn't happen for a couple days.
Oh.
It is as you're getting closer and closer to Ferrum. You only have a couple days of travel left. When, as you're making your way along the road, there is. I need you to roll me a D45.
Okay. 31.
31. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay. That's interesting. Coming towards you along the road, heading away from Ferrum, are a very large group of individuals in long gray robes with hoods, almost like cowls that are basically covering their faces. As they encounter you and your group on the road, each of you are offered what looks like, well, they look like masks.
Uh-huh. Is this religious?
Roll a religion check.
Okay.
They don't say anything to you. Just each one
Of
like
course
steps
not.
up to one member of your party and holds up a mask.
Yeah, Lorna's religion experience is showing she rolled an 11.
You don't know what this is.
Are they all the same mask?
No. But
Okay.
like all the masks are different and unique, and some of them are more colorful or interesting than others. Some of them are very plain and basic. What you do notice is that every single one of them beneath their hoods are wearing a half mask where you
Mhm.
can't see their eyes. You can just see basically their mouth. Um, the rest of your group are kind of confused. Anscombe just kind of takes a mask as it's like handed to him, and he just is holding it and doesn't know what to do with it.
She would ask as it once placed in her hands, oh, thanks. What are these for?
Uh,
Do they talk?
the one you speak to just looks up at you and gives you like a soft smile.
Can I insight check the smile? Is it malicious, insidious? Is it well-meaning?
Go ahead.
24.
It's the sort of smile you'd expect an adult to give to like a child who says something nice. It's
All
not
right,
malicious.
sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, creepy. All right, cool. What does my mask look?
Well, roll me a D100.
Yeah. 96. The opposite of my 69.
96. Huh. Okay. The mask that you have been handed, it has three colors. It is a half mask like they were wearing, just revealing the mouth. Um, the eyes are covered over by what looks like a fine mesh, so that when you're wearing the mask, no one can see your eyes. The eyes are black. The mask is separated into three symmetrical thirds, and the top third is like a metallic green. The the left-hand third is red, and the final third is white. And each
Okay.
color looks like it's made of scales.
Okay. Does Lorna get like, does it remind her of something specifically, or is it just aesthetic? Like, looks nice.
It looks interesting. It kind of seems draconic.
That's what I got from the scales. Lorna will just say, okay. She'll just tuck it in her bag.
Okay. Add a draconic mask to your bag.
Okay.
Anscombe's
Draconic.
the only other one who took a mask.
The others were like, no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'll see if it's magic later. Well, in her perusal of it, are there any runes or marks on it besides just a mask?
It's not magical.
Okay. Okay,
It might
maybe I
have
can
a
use this.
meaning to something, but it
Uh-huh.
doesn't seem to have a magical one.
Well, all right then. And you said that
Uh,
took a few days, actually?
so that was on like the second to last day of travel towards
I see.
Ferrum.
Hmm.
So you only have one more day.
Hmm.
Please roll me another D100.
Okay. 94.
Okay. 94. Okay, this encounter occurs during your long rest.
Hmm.
Which watch do you typically take on a long rest?
I would say the first or the last.
Okay,
So on a D2, the first will be a 1, and on a 2, it'll be... Okay, it's a 1, so first watch.
all right. During your watch, Tierra's basically just found a place to set up camp. The rest of your party has just settled in to go to bed. Some of them are not completely asleep yet. And you hear,
Um, excuse me?
Lorna looks to the voice.
there is a goblin, who has a little walking stick. He looks maybe pretty young for a goblin. He doesn't look like old enough to need a cane or anything like that.
Huh.
But it looks like he has a huge bag, almost as big as he is, and a walking stick. And he says,
Can you point me to the nearest town? If you don't mind.
Before she answers, quick perusal. Is he threatening?
"Roll an insight check."
Is a shifty little fucker. Is he gonna stab me? 25.
No, he's not threatening.
He seems like a nice guy.
He has
Just
a dagger on his
directions.
belt.
Yeah, okay. Her demeanor will soften and she'll say, "Oh, of course, I can give you pretty good directions, I think." And she's got a good memory. She'll be able to
So you just tell him which way to Ferrum?
Yeah, does she have a map? Or does Tierra have a map? Does someone have a map that she
Tierra
could
has a
be like,
map.
She would dig it out of his bag, whether he likes it or not.
Okay.
And just
Tierra's
kind of
asleep.
point. Yeah, alright, so she'll go through his stuff. And then
Oi,
show
what is
the
what happening? Like, you couldn't
relax,
ask.
I'm showing someone directions. You're fine.
Who?
It's this guy.
What? Ah.
I've already given him an ocular pat down. It's fine.
All right.
And she'll like go to the goblin, show him, like point out the best route or the most efficient route to the nearest town.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Yeah, have a safe travel.
And you as well.
And he takes the directions and wanders in the direction you've basically told him to go in.
Okay.
Uh,
She'll
just
stuff
for
Tier's
this,
map back in his bag.
for the sake of it, I need you to roll me a survival check to see how good of directions you give him.
How good my directions are.
I'll say advantage because you use TR's map.
A good.
You rolled an
well, not
18.
good. Yeah. They rolled a 21.
Okay. Yeah. You feel confident that you've pointed him in the right direction.
When she gives the map back to Tier, she just says, You wrote some good notes on this. It helped me explain it.
I know. They were for me, but I'm glad that it worked out.
That's why I borrowed your map, because I knew that it would have the best answer for him.
All right. Who is that?
Just a traveler. Goblin with a big bag.
Oh, all right then.
He seemed like a nice guy.
You are the best judge of character. I'm going back to bed.
She doesn't dignify that with a response because she
Mhm.
knows he's being sarcastic.
Okay.
We live another day, I assume.
Yeah. Those were your encounters for your trek back. It is on this day that you return to Ferrum. It is early in the day, maybe around 10 o'clock in the morning when you enter the gates of Ferrum back through the Rain Road. And as you return, what do?
They're going straight to the academy. They got a paycheck to pick up.
Okay, you go straight to the Merigard
Persh.
Academy. As you return to the Merigard, do you remember, or did I tell you how much you're going to make on this job?
I don't think you did.
Let me pull up my notes.
Modi offered her a spell.
That's true. You selected Fireball, didn't you?
I think I did.
Yeah.
Because she was like, why wouldn't I want that?
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so as you return to the Merigard Academy, you enter the front doors, and Persh, where he always is, looks up as you enter, and he just says, "Welcome back.
Good morning, Persh.
You all seem to be intact.
Yes, I think that was very successful.
Any news from Showwatch?"
They make you register your weapons.
Yes.
So that was inconvenient. But we managed. Thank you for your vouch.
You're welcome. That is what the transcription paper is for.
Otherwise, we didn't really run into any trouble.
Fantastic. And any word on the cult of Velisco?
As far as I'm aware, they are completely eradicated in that area.
Modi did report your mission was successful, and so I have your payment.
Lorna rubs her hands together.
I believe part of the agreement was you would receive this spell and reduced bounty just for you. And he sets what looks like a page from a spell book on the counter in front of you. And it is the 3rd level spell Fireball.
Nice. I just need to take some time to transcribe that.
Yes, you do.
And everybody else gets their monies.
As they have finished their job... One moment. Everyone else earns 350 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You earn 150 gold pieces.
I'll take it. 150.
And that is a job well done. Are you taking another, or are you taking some time?
So I had a question as to whether you might have any jobs in the Rimwood area or
In the
further
rim.
north, but in that direction.
Oh, let's see. And he pulls out a ledger, and he begins sifting through pages, and he says, is this, are you hoping for some time allotted on the side?
That would be nice.
Alright then. Well, let's see. Roll me a D100.
She kind of looks at Anscombe eagerly as Percia's sifting through his paperwork, even though he's probably less eager. 67.
67. Hold on. Okay. I do have a task. On the outskirts of Shona,
Oh, Shona.
there is... Alright. Apparently, there is a Hydra that has set up lair near Shona. It is not a pressing matter of time, but it looks like the Gyaranos would like it taken care of.
Gyaranos. Is that a family?
It's one of the noble families responsible for Shona's well-being.
Shona noble family. Okay. If we go to Shona and say, could you point us in the exact direction of this creature, would they be able to do so?
Well, I have a contact here regarding this job. One Lucian Girano.
Okay.
If you are taking this task, you'll head to Shona, reach out to Lucian Girano on behalf of the Merigod Academy, and he will give you the details. Now, this is a hunting job, which means that usually there is some modifier. It's not just to slay the creature. Typically, there is something in the creature's possession or an aspect of the creature itself the hirer wants acquired. It being a Hydra, this could be anything. It could be a body part, could be a head, could be something the Hydra has taken. I recommend you do some studying up on Hydras, learn their strengths and weaknesses, and then depart.
Well, if we're going to Shona, we could stop in Augur City and do some research.
You could. That is
Unless you think
following
that
the road.
just talking to Tabernac might help us as well.
I think both options are viable. It's never going to hurt asking Tabernac, but I will hear about it in the staff meeting tonight.
Well, we did plan on stopping at the Arcanium anyways, so we might as well kill two birds with one stone and hopefully a Hydra in the following days.
Let's see. If you're planning a route through Augur City up to Shona, and you see he like pulls out a small map, and he puts like some small spectacles on as he looks at like the fine writing on the map. I recommend you take mounts and maybe refresh them once you get through Augur City, as it is a bit of a ride. Say, while traveling, you average 40 miles a day. It's probably going to take you maybe a couple weeks to get there. Alright.
With a potential stop on the way, maybe two.
2 stops? It's fine. I will inform the Gyaranos we've accepted the task, and they can expect arrival of contractors within a month.
That's great. I think that should be fine.
Alright. As this is a hunting task, it is expected that you will keep in touch after you've accepted it. And so, He pulls out another small
More
sheaf.
paper.
How many transcription papers do you have on you right now?
She's 3.
Then he gives you 4 more.
7 total. She accepts them, tucks them away.
Right. Now, as it is a hunting task, I cannot promise an amount paid at the time. I need to know how the hunt goes. I need to know if there are any... We have had a unfortunate habit with our clients that they do not always give us all of the information. So, when it comes to hunting tasks, sometimes they'll say, we need you to hunt a young dragon. They sometimes will fail to mention that young dragon is being cared for by an older dragon, or these sorts of things. So, when you find out the particulars, I will ask that you forward that information to me, and we can sort out how much this job is actually worth, and then Maxwell can apply the proper leverage to get the right payment.
I understand. So as soon as we make contact with Lucian Garino, I will let you know what the actual specifics of this job are.
Easy enough. With your team, this should be completely doable. But I will warn you, Hydra can be dangerous, so... And it will have a lair.
Yes.
So prepare.
We will do our due diligence when we reach Augur City to make sure that we are not unawares.
Perfect. Shall I inform our stable master that you intend to take horses, or are you going on foot?
She'll look at the party. I have my mount.
I'd like a mount.
I think then we'll be taking horses.
Skolna nods, and Nori, like, I'm not walking all that. Fair enough. It might be wise to take a cart just in case this particular hunt requires you to bring back some hide or Hydra heads.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we could always get one in Shona if we need to.
if you'd like to pay for one instead of using ours,
Oh, you make a good point.
I thought
Free
I
card
might.
it is.
Well, you see, we happen to have a, you might call it insurance on our carts. So, if it gets broken, we can always just go talk to the Tinkers to have a new one made. As opposed to if someone else's cart gets broken, then we'd have to pay for that. And I don't like spending money if I don't have to. Alright, I'll pass on the word. You have the rest of the evening to yourselves. I expect you to head out of town in the morning, or are you going to take your time in leaving?
I don't believe so. I don't have anything. She'll look at her party. I didn't have any major plans.
Everyone's just kind of like shrugging.
We'll leave in the morning.
Good enough. Speak with Seka about requisitions. Off you go.
I could do that. Off to see the Seka.
Okay. Seka, the blacksmith, is where she always is. As you approach, she looks up. For once, she's not in the middle of making something, and she says, Hi.
Hello, Seka, she says, making sure to emphasize the Seka from the one time she mispronounced her name months and months and months ago and hasn't forgotten it.
What you need?
Requisitions. We're gonna go hunt a Hydra.
Ah. You got any magic weapons on you? Of course you do.
I believe everybody does.
Good
Is there
enough.
anyone not working with the magic weapon?
Your group just kind of looks amongst each other, and then everyone just shakes their head.
Okay, we're all good in that respect.
All right. So, just healing potions in a ration?
Yeah, I believe so. Unless, do you know anything about Hydras? Are they venomous? Do they breathe fire?
One moment. Let me roll for Seka. What does she know about Hydra? Apparently a lot. She says, well, that depends. Is it a grassland Hydra, a mountain Hydra, forest, cavern?
Judging by the location near Shona, can Lorna make an educated guess?
You could roll roll a nature check.
Okay. Natural 20. 25.
Jesus Christ.
We're built for hunting hydras.
I guess so. You imagine it's likely a mountain hydra or a like a tunnel hydra.
Mm-hmm.
Something that likes to burrow or likes to make its lair in rock, basically.
Mm-hmm. She'll supply that information. This is what I believe.
All right. Yeah, a few things. Don't bother with bludgeoning.
Don't bother with bloodshed.
It's not going to do a fucking thing. If you have poison, it can be particularly effective.
She'll look at Skolna. All right, good to know.
Doesn't give a shit about fire magic.
Also good to know. She just kind of looks sadly at the fireball spell scroll in her bag. Good to know.
I think that's... Oh, they're real good at seeing in the dark, so if you're going to sneak up on it, maybe...
You're going to need more than the cover of shadow.
Yeah, maybe invisibility is a good call.
I see. Okay. Definitely healing potions. Poison for Skolna if you have any.
What kind?
She'll look at Skolna. You're the expert.
Skolna just looks up at Sekka. And then Sekka says, Wyvern. All right, let's see.
How did you do that? How did she know? Lorna tries to read Skolna's expression to see if there was anything that could have keyed her in that she would have missed.
Roll an insight check.
Did like her eyebrow quirk? Did her lip move? 15. Stone face.
Yeah, you don't get anything. But Sekka produces 3 vials of this thick black liquid, and Skolna puts a little bag of coin. It's
Great.
clear Skolna's done this before.
And Lorna tries not to think about who she's been using it on. So potions, maybe 2 each?
That's what you're allotted. If you want more than that, you'll have to pay.
Oh. I was thinking about paying for 2. I'll take 2.
We do
Just
try to
standard
keep the
healing
mercenaries armed.
Alive, yeah. That
2
makes sense.
standards, aye. If you want bigger than that, you're going to have to pay for it.
That's fine. I'll take the 2. I'm not speaking for anybody else in the group if they want.
Everyone
Or-
seems content with taking 2 healing potions.
Now, this is a special project, Sekka, that I think you may be potentially interested in. I
What?
have on my person some dragon parts that you might want to play with. They're only shale dragon parts, but they could potentially become something, right?
What are they?
I've got scales, teeth, and the fundamentum.
Fundamentals beyond me. But
Okay.
I can make armor from the scales and I can make weapons from the teeth.
I have 80 pounds of scales and 4 teeth.
Alright. I can make you a suit of scale mail. I can make you a shield.
She would look at Anscombe. Does that any of that sound appealing to you?
What is
Better than what you already have?
What is the scale mail? Does it do anything, more than just be scale mail? Well, they're shale dragon parts, so it's not as hardy as if it was actual dragon scale mail.
Metallic or chromatic, yeah.
But it'll be light. It won't weigh you down. It might be able to turn a bullet.
Okay.
I wouldn't say no to being a little faster, a little quieter.
That might help. I mean, just see what you come up with, Sekka, honestly. She'll place the 80 pounds of scales and the 4 teeth down.
She looks at the teeth and she says, "Oh, these are little ones.
Yeah, it wasn't a big one.
I can make 4 arrows. They might petrify what you hit."
I love it. Tiara would love those, wouldn't you?
Oh, you don't have to put words in my mouth. I was about to say that would be fantastic. You don't have to do all of it. And Seka, like, is looking at the parts, and she's scratching her chin, and she says, all right, with these parts, I could try and make the armor for 200 gold, for the rest of it, and fit to you. The arrows, 50 gold. And Anscombe, like, all right, and he shells out 200 gold from his pay.
He shales out.
Yeah. And Tier will do the same. They pay for their modifications, and Seka gets to work.
Fantastic. Do you think, as far as the fundamentum goes, is that an artificer question?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Is there an artifice? I guess I could ask Widget.
You can
She's
go
the
talk to
artificer
Widget.
instructor.
Or you could go talk to, there's a Physica shop just down the road. I think they do some artificing.
Do you think... I mean, who would you go to if you wanted a magical thing made for you?
Widget's problematic.
I appreciate the honesty. I'm not going to inquire as to how, and you don't have an opinion on the one in town, do you?
It's a couple. I haven't spoke with them much. I think you might want to just gauge that for yourself.
I'll get a quote, or at least, at the very least, see what they can make of it.
All right.
But thank you. I appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back in like a month.
Oh, you don't want to wait for them?
What's your timeline?
Well, I can get the arrows made tonight. The armor, I'll have to get you fitted. I'll have to do your measurements tomorrow morning. Might be a day.
Anscombe, how do you feel?
Look, if we're fighting a Hydra, maybe an upgrade is in order.
I understand. Okay, so instead of leaving tomorrow morning, we'll leave the day after tomorrow morning.
It works for me. I mean, I could put my feet up for a night. That'd be nice.
I suppose we don't have to immediately leave.
I mean, are you in a rush? Bit of a slave drive around here. I know you're eager to
relax.
I know you're eager to get up to the Rimwood, and I know why. And
Right.
And Nori says, "What? Why?" And Anscombe says, "Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it."
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the road. It has no real emotional or physical or intellectual effect on any of you. So you shouldn't be too worried. Except you. And it'll have all of those on you.
Nori's like, "Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go get fucked up."
Yeah, I suppose everybody take the night off.
All of them do, except for Skolna, who kind of loiters next to you.
Do you want to come with me to the artificer?
She shrugs.
Lorna will get directions to it from Seka.
Yeah, it's literally like up the main road. And you realize the physicary is where you stayed.
That the guy that he let us stop by for the fall festival.
Skolna nods.
Oh, well, yeah, I know where that is. Let's go.
As you head there, hold on. Where did it go? Here it is. It's literally right up the road. You and Skolna head that way.
I know that guy.
You see, well, first I need you to roll me a D100.
Okay. 57.
It's a little busy. You see that, this individual, the half-orc, Zurich, as he introduced himself, is tending to a few patients. You see that there are a number of basically stone slabs that have like a mattress set on them. On one, you see there is an individual who's clearly wearing Aurelian soldier garb, but he's been wounded, and he's being bandaged up. The other one, Zurich is currently tending to, is also clearly an Aurelian soldier. The first one is asleep. The other one turns his head sharply as you enter, and he says, Hold, what's your business? And Zurich immediately says, No. No. It is a town with many other people in it, and so we don't go jumping to conclusions. And I recognize this one. She's a contractor. And the soldier, like,
Hello.
relaxes a little. And
I promise I'm neutral.
no, don't worry. Don't worry him. He's just been dealing with all sorts of, well, what I think is criminal problems. He's just like muttering to himself, and then he says, "How can I help you?"
I understand you're busy. Do you have a moment to talk about something like a fun project? Potentially fun, I suppose.
Allow me a few minutes to finish what I'm doing, and then we can have a chat. Is this the sort of conversation that, as far as fun projects go, do you know someone wounded, or is this a creative endeavor?
This is a creative endeavor.
Very well. Yes, please just have a seat and allow me to finish. He's in the middle of performing a medic on this guy. So you watch as he performs literal surgery.
Well, I'm sure Lorna's from Sarah. She's seen Physicers.
Yeah, you've seen it before. He seems extremely deft at what he does. He moves quickly. Despite him being a half-orc, his fingers are moving with extreme dexterity and precision. And before you know it, it's like a few minutes pass, and the soldier is being injected with something, and he just relaxes as the pain seems to settle
the
away.
morphine kicked in.
Zurich wipes his hands on a small stone that you immediately recognize as a cleansing stone.
I love those.
And then he says, "Right. What did you have in mind?"
So I came upon some dragon parts recently, and I thought maybe
Suddenly,
something could be done about them.
Suddenly, Zurich starts, and he says, "Oh, you're a sneaky one, aren't you?" As he just spots Skullma next to you.
Yes. Yes.
Start
You're
with
good
me.
at that.
Yeah. Right. Dragon pots, you say?
I have a Shale Dragon's Draconis Fundamentum.
Oh.
If you think you might be able to do something with that. I also have a vocal cord. I believe.
Well,
Yes.
a vocal cord I could definitely make into a fine bow or a musical instrument.
Oh, an instrument.
Yes. Any sort of stringed instrument. If you happen to have the funds, I can purchase some nice wood and get maybe a magically inspired instrument made.
Lorna knows that Nore plays the flute. Does she know if she's proficient in any stringed instruments?
Roll roll a history check.
Okay. 30 to 20.
You remember Nore does play the lyre.
Okay. If it's getting made into an instrument, definitely a lyre.
A lyre? Well, how long is the vocal cord? We might have to see if we have enough.
She'll pull it out.
Oh,
I have
yes.
its quantity of 1, so I do not have a length for you.
Yeah, I understand. I remember the size of the creature. Zurich says, "Oh, yes, this is just enough, I think. No room for mistakes with this one, but we can make it happen."
As for the fundamentum, she'll just kind of remove it from her bag.
Yeah, it's like this gross organ. He looks at it and he says, "Oh, well, it is well preserved and good shape. We could do a number of things with this. It could be made into, well, we could use its essence to fabricate a wand.
Oh.
Or, maybe a protecting charm against such effects like sleep and such things."
Okay.
Do you find yourself more offensively or defensively inclined with these things?
Me in particular, I think I strike a good balance of both, honestly. Um, as far as what you can do with it, I'd be happy if you made that choice yourself, just as whatever struck you as the most interesting thing to make.
I see. Well, He picks up the fundamentum and weighs it and looks at it. All right. Well, I think perhaps with the right ingredients and funding, this could be made into a wand of paralysis. With,
Temporary.
of course, it only lasts perhaps a minute. But if with cheaper ingredients, perhaps a wand of binding.
Both sound great. I'm open.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is incorrect. A wand of entangle. Which I believe is maybe not quite as potent, but it would be much cheaper.
I do like the sound of the paralysis.
Well, mechanically, a wand of paralysis typically has 7 charges.
Mm-hmm.
You can expend one of its charges to force a target within 60 feet that you can see, to make a DC 15 con save, or be paralyzed for 1 minute.
I like that.
It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn, ending the effect on a success.
I like it.
Well, that will be a bit of a price. That will require some snakewood, banacite, and silver. I can acquire all those materials, but this would be a potent one that would recharge every dawn, and would use the entire fundamentum. In addition to the fundamentum, I would require about 500 gold for parts and labor.
Okay.
And
Well, how about this? Sorry, finish your sentence.
it would take a couple of weeks to create.
We are about to leave town for a month. So it's not like I'll be twiddling my thumbs in the interim.
I can always Galder's courier it to you when it is ready.
That's true. Okay, so as far as the price goes for the other materials, she will pull a bag of gems out of her pocket and slap it down on the table. And she'll say there are 425 gold pieces worth of gems. And 3 silver.
Are you sure?
Yes, you gave me 200 from Modi, and I actually had 200 that we found in the cultist camp, so I combined the two.
Okay. Zurich will open the bag, and he just does a quick inspection. And he says, this will handle most of the cost, yes, but there is still about 75 gold needed.
She'll put 75 gold down on the table and slide it over.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. I will work on this in my spare time. I will require an additional 10 gold for the courier.
10 more gold.
Perfect.
And the liar?
Ah! Oh, let's see.
You have the cord, but you need the wood.
Yes. And some banacite for enchanting. He sees like doing math in his head. Well, you've given me the most expensive part. 150 gold, and I will call that one good.
I'll kind of sneak a glance at Skolna. Can I have some help with this?
Skolna looks at you and quirks an eyebrow. Say,
It's going to be a gift for Nore. Please? Please. Please, please, please.
Skolna smirks and then sets 15 platinum on the counter.
15 platinum. Oh! Thank you. I could have done some of it.
Skolna takes back 5 platinum.
So that's 100 gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, thank you. I will give 50. I was going to give like 100 of it. And then I'd only have 16 gold left, but I'd rather give 50 and have 60 gold left.
I will just include this in the courier with the wand when it is ready.
Thank you.
No worries. I will just take a stop down by the docks and get some snakewood. And that will be, well, the basis for the lyre and also for your wand.
Pleasure doing business with you, Zerk.
Oh, no problem at all. I always look forward to new projects. And being so close to the Merigard, I get some of the strangest quests.
Could you, for the lyre, put some sort of draconic design to it? Snakewood, so that should help with the appearance of the scales. I just think it would suit the player very well.
Draconic, you say?
Yes.
Oh, simple. Easy enough.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And no extra charge for that. That's just simple. Is there anything else with this order?
That's all I have. I've distributed all my dragon parts to appropriate parties.
What a fascinating sentence. Very well. I will be in contact, and if I have any issues, I'll reach out.
Thank you. I know sending, so, you know.
Ah, well, I have a bird.
That also works.
When he says that, you notice a wrought iron raven with a diamond for an eye looking down at you from a rafter.
Beautiful work.
Thank you. Well, now I must return to my patient who's going to wake up soon. But
Lorna will... Go ahead.
I wish you luck on your journey.
You as well. Damn it, you're not going anywhere.
I assure him not.
Damn it, I just YouTubed the waiter. Lorna will politely excuse herself and depart from the
Okay.
degree before she humiliates herself further.
Sure. You have spent your money.
All of it. I'm gonna get some cool stuff.
Yeah. That's how it works. You have the rest of the evening. What do you do? You have the rest of the day. You have like the whole day. Okay.
Yeah.
You can totally just spend time with your friends and goof off
Sure,
if you want.
having a nice free day.
Sure. Roll me a d10.
Okay. 10.
As you're heading towards the tavern, you hear Lily say,
Oh.
"You're really spreading the name Nightingale far and wide, aren't you?"
Well, I figured it might be a good way to pick up jobs more personally. Like someone might contact the Merigard and say, "Could you get the Nightingales on that? I've heard of them. I know they do good work."
Uh-huh. Well, I've come to a decision, and I wanted to talk to you about it.
Is it a problem that I've been doing that? Should I
No,
stop doing
I
that?
don't care.
Okay. So your decision.
I've been thinking about it a lot over the last week. Ever since, well, your duel. In my history. I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of rash decisions that I am burdening you with their consequences, as I am no longer of your world, and you have inherited them. Because you look the way that you do. And you are connected to whom you are connected with. I know you have been taking my quest for my husband seriously. I know that you have been looking into my reasons and reliving my memories. I think it is important that you know I appreciate it. It feels as though watching my daughter continue my work. However, I don't know what has happened to Malcolm. I don't know where he is. I don't know what is even left of him. The legends say that when a night walker gets a hold of someone, they are rended apart and they are no more. But from what you've learned, that he might still be out there somewhere, it hurts to hope. I don't want you, if you had the power, I do not want you to bring him back to life. I want you to put him to rest. I want him to have the afterlife that Nolu spoke of, that all of his kind could look forward to. Because I took that from him. My situation, our life together, robbed him of that. Excuse me.
How could you say that?
Because everything that we were, it ended with tragedy. It ended for him in the claws of a Nightwalker.
How is that your fault?
I'm not... I don't know. I don't remember.
But you think you might have.
Maybe. It could be. My ambition has caused problems in my life and in yours now. If you could find him and put him to rest, that is what I want.
I understand, and I accept, and I will do so if I am at all possible, and I will do everything to make that possible. But I want you to know and understand that I don't believe that your life and his life and the intertwining of those two things was ever wrong or ever shouldn't have been done. I think that love that you shared was beautiful.
Thank you. I would give anything to see him again. But it is not. It is not my wants that are just in this world. And as I watch you grow and learn and struggle both with yourself and my problems, I worry that you might prioritize mine over yours. You are young. You are young and you have so much ahead of you. And my most recent mistake is on your heels. Have
Well,
you heard from Remus whilst I might have been asleep or missed it?
not directly, no. I have an idea where he might be or where he's looking, but it's not like we've talked. I hope we never talk again, honestly.
I think that might be the safest course.
I don't want to have to be put in his path again because I don't I don't want to hurt him. I don't want to have to do that.
There is a reality about him that I think mayhaps you are not familiar with, as you saw him as a father. I saw him as a businessman. as a man in charge of land and people. He does know how to manipulate people. He knows how to get what it is that he wants.
It's not like I only saw the best of him. I knew he was capable of bad things, even terrible things, but I never saw that directed at me and like a child and like a selfish person. That's all that mattered, is that he was good to me.
You are not selfish. You are protected. At least I assume.
Think so?
Knowing him. Yes.
From everything, even from the good things. Unless he was the direct cause of them.
Well, I don't see him recognizing you as me, as we are very different. Aside
That's true.
from in appearance, there isn't much we have in common. Aside
He
from a
seemed to
penchant for
be,
magic.
and trouble.
Different kinds.
He seemed, from what it's not like we talked about this before I ran away. From his writing, he seemed of the mind that eventually I would become you, or rather, that your memories would come back to me, and then I would just be you. And your memories have come back to me, but we're still different people. But I don't know how he'd take that. I don't know if he'd believe it. I don't know if that would change his mind, that he could never get Atlantis back, the woman that he knew, the woman he seemed so crazy about.
I don't know how he might have changed in the last 18 years. I am ashamed to admit, for most of your life, I've been asleep, is the best way I can put it. I did not think, well, when you awoke me, I didn't. This is the last thing I thought would have been happening. I will, should you encounter him, try and guide you through what I remember. He can have a temper. There was a reason he was good at getting individuals for my experiments. He could control people, and when he couldn't, he could make them fear him.
I believe it.
That's all I wanted to say, was that I'm sorry in what I wanted.
I will do everything in my power to make sure he gets the afterlife he always deserved.
Thank you.
But before I forget, and this seems like it might matter someday, when I spoke to Tysus, he seemed to imply that you and I could never exist at the same time. But we might be able to trade places on the opposite side of the mirror.
What do you mean?
That you might be able to take the reins. Not that
Is
I want you to permanently take the reins, but there might be an occasion someday where that might help.
I will remember that. I
Like
would be
talking to Remus, as you said.
Oh. You know, for someone lauded as brilliant and intelligent as I've been, I often feel awfully foolish when the obvious is pointed out to me in such ways.
I know that feeling.
That is not a bad idea. And if it comes to that, that is an idea we can humor.
Mm-hmm.
But until then, I don't know how I would handle being on the driver's seat. I don't imagine well.
I and I hear what you're saying. I was going to say it might be something that a practice might be useful so that we're not in a spot where we need it and don't know how. But if I don't want to make you uncomfortable, and
I
I
think,
understand why it could.
I think before any of that is a thing that we consider. Have you decided what? I don't mean to pry into your romantic life.
Lorna kind of braces herself at the words romantic life. Mm-hmm.
I know you are fond of the half-orc. I know you've
Yes.
made decisions about that. Are you going to tell him about Malcolm?
Yes, I am. I plan to. Sometime on the road before we reach the Rimwood, where the verdant grove is.
I know you intended to visit the Rimwood for Malcolm's old grove. Yet, you've led Anscombe on this belief that it's only to see his father.
I said it was the primary reason. I didn't say it was the only reason.
I don't know what will happen if you go to the circle. I don't know how they will respond to seeing you. We did not leave on good terms.
That was a while ago. How many of them could be left?
I did not take the news they would not help me with Malcolm well.
How badly did you take it? You didn't burn anything down, did you?
Fire has never really been my means of operating.
Well, then maybe use burn down as just kind of a metaphor.
I did things that I regret in my rage.
Did anyone
I
die?
slayed the shaman and her daughter.
Oh, Lily. Nolu?
Nolu is still alive. She was beyond my means.
I see.
Or at least, if... I don't know if Nolu is still alive, but when I visited, I did not kill her.
I see.
Handle that delicately.
Yeah. Right. Thank you for the warning. It's better than strolling into the verdant grove and saying hello, and then, if Nolu happens to still be alive. I think druids can have a particularly long lifespan if they're good enough. I can imagine that wouldn't go over well.
I think honesty with them is the wisest choice. They believe in reincarnation and soul magic. That was the reason why I thought they could help me with Malcolm. It was their shamans, their psychopomps that would guide their spirits to the beastlands for their forever afterlife. And I thought that's where I might find Malcolm. I didn't, and they wouldn't help me.
I see. And I understand the reasoning for it too.
I do as well, which is painful for me to admit even now.
I do plan on being honest, especially if there's bad feelings still. And I will tell Anscombe before we get there, because him finding out in that conversation is the worst thing I could possibly do to him.
I know it is difficult to trust everything with him. Just take your time. Make sure that
Yeah.
you know it to feel right.
You might not remember, but I will ask, how did you know with Malcolm? Was there a moment? Was it over the course of time?
He was a slave. He was captured by the surface raiders and brought in. One of my brothers wanted him as a personal lackey, for better words. Training dummy, for worse ones. But he would never resist. He never struck out at whoever it was that was handling him. And when I spoke to him, it was not pain, nor sorrow, nor anger that I saw in him when he looked at me. And he knew that I was in control. He knew that it was my orders they were following. He looked at me, and he looked at me with pity. And for the first time, I understood why. I had seen others take sympathy on the situation of Lucifax in my home. A strange situation of selfish tyranny, controlled entirely by, well, foolish methods, honestly, as I looked back. But his was so genuine. Made me angry and confused. So I didn't kill him. I wanted to understand why he looked at me in that way. And I realized that anger was not actually anger. It was... I wanted him to look at me in a different way. It took me a long time to understand that. That is a dark mirror as I look back. I apologize.
Yeah, I asked.
It is hard not to feel guilt when I think of then. Anyway, I'm going to think on our conversation. I hope you enjoy this little bit of time off you've arranged for
I will.
yourself.
Oh, I will.
And
I'll
Lily is
just
quiet.
be a normal person with normal problems.
And Skona like bumps your hip with hers.
Hmm?
You've been standing here a long time.
Sorry, I thought I was moving.
No.
I try to think and move, but sometimes I forget to step.
I do that too.
Insight check. Is she lying?
Good luck.
I'm gonna get her. I rolled really good. 27.
Not good enough.
Are you
I'm
serious?
serious. She rolled a 29.
It just flips table. Okay. Lorna just narrows her eyes and says, well, you helped me with that purchase, so how about drinks on me?
Okay. And
And
as
I'll
you
go to the
start
Mary Guard.
as you start walking that way, you with your roll me a perception check.
Did she tie my shoelaces together?
No.
Okay, just wondering. Natural 20, 26.
You hear her mutter to herself. When I think about Carcerix.
Arcerix.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to my notes, the most recent. Can you spell that for me?
Karcerix.
Ix. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring that up to her. Lorna just keeps that in her back pocket for now.
Okay. As you head to the Merry Guard. That is where we'll end tonight's session.
I
Okay.
know who that bitch is. Or I'm making assumptions, but I think I know who that bitch
I'm
is.
sure you have an assumption. I hope
I
you had a
do.
good time with me tonight, and to those of you who are at home or at work listening, hi Pen.
And Emily.
And Emily.
And Sal. And
Sal,
Class.
and everybody else.
They all listen.
We love you all, and I wish you all a good night.
Yeah.